Here are some stories of how I owned literacy in my life. Breakfast as a child was with 6 brothers and sisters. Mom usually stayed in bed and listened from afar. The eldest, Casey and Maureen, would serve us cereal and milk. The topic of conversation varied, but we were always talking. Usually there was a fight about who had the cereal box, strategically placed in front of them while they shoveled the morsels of fortified, nutritious nuggets of some grain floating in milk into their mouths. We had to take turns with that damn box, and I hardly ever got a turn. "You can't read, Eileen," Maureen would say. I would reply, "I can read the pictures." Delighted in my misrepresentation, or so they thought, of reading, the entire kitchen would laugh and pass the box my way. "Let's give her a turn," Casey would say, as he pulled the box from another sibling. Voila! I had 3 kids of my own. Christopher, Jessica, and Jacob were about 1 to 1.5 years in age apart. And our favorite TV show to watch together when they were like 4, 5, and 6 was the Marty Stauffer's Wild America. We all gathered on the big green couch to watch together, and Christopher, the oldest, wiggled his way over to me and said, "Mama, can we watch this show without comprehension questions?" I did not realize I was asking so many questions, but after all, they were my favorite people, and I wanted them to have great thinking skills. One of my early science teacher positions was near my home, but across the railroad tracks. No, literally across the railroad tracks. It was called a black neighborhood. The kids were somewhat different from me. I knew that, but it really confronted my definition of gardening. I had started a garden with my classes, and in a rotation, I would take each one of my 7 classes out to tend the garden. Rake, shovels, and other garden items were carried by the students. One day, Gerald was walking with his pants below his butt and carrying a shovel over his shoulders. This may have been usual, but I asked one of my questions, and I said, "Why are you wearing your pants down like that?" And he replied, "I'm getting ready for prison." Evidently, going to prison was in his culture, almost a rite of passage. Angola prisoners worked in the cotton fields. I had a hard time taking the kids out there the rest of the year, and soon stopped the garden. I should have had him tell his story and expand my cross-the-tracks literacy. I missed my chance. Literacy must be a living, breathing thing.